I'm ready. Hey, we're back, folks. I'm your host, BKP. We are North Georgia's only live online morning show. Josh, let's show everybody all over the world, World Wide Web, while it lasts. I'm here as long as the opportunity presents itself in the morning. There's all the social media ways you can follow the show, and our email address and phone number. And Josh wanted to know what they had against ice. They F ice. Did they want, did they hate frozen water? That was a good one, Josh. Josh said, do they hate frozen water? They're saying F ice. Okay, folks, let's I want you to pay attention to this one a little later in the day. This is interesting. Now, Trump said they would be raids. Okay, this is one of those segments you're going to have to put together what you think's going on here. Okay, and when I say that, we're going to get back tomorrow or Monday, and we're going to go over this, and maybe the All-Star panel will dig into this later. That's up to them tomorrow. But let me get to the story I'm looking for. Let's look at Fox Business. Okay. The Dow is up right now. Let me refresh it. 93. They were not talking. I noticed they were not talking on the deep state corrupt corporate media. Whoa. Sorry about that, folks. So anyhow, they were not talking this morning about the stock market crashing. Campaign protests. Let me get that one out of the way. Let me get this one out of the way. Twitter locks McConnell campaign account after posting video of protesters shouting threats of profanity. We did that story. Let's get to what is next. So last night, you remember I showed this, and oh God, Josh, I'm sorry, I didn't send it. I did not send it. Can you go in to 8-7 yesterday? And can you find number? It was number. Stay with me, folks. Hopefully you'll enjoy this when I get it together. Can you find number 39 from yesterday? Okay. If you do, please put it up. Okay. So last night, let's see. Is it a coincidence the president was Could we not have had 24 hours? Totally 24 hours. Let's not talk about background checks. Okay. You have the right to do whatever you want, but let's do 24 hours, not talk about background checks, not do phony preaching in a church in South Carolina, not fundraise, not campaign. Let's just do 24, 48 hours, but at least 24, and let the president of the United States, regardless of the individual's name, the office of the presidency of the United States, visit Ohio and Texas. And could we not have done that yesterday and not scheduled as many things as we possibly could? Thanks, Josh. I appreciate you. Not schedule as many things as we possibly can to be a negative in the country, divide the country, right? But no, Chris Cuomo, he is going to America under assault. The gun crisis, right? Oh, yeah, the gun crisis. So they got some liberal lefty people. Let's do this. How shocking is this, right? When you go, Trump 2020. They got some liberal lefty former police chief of Philadelphia on there, and they're really debating, and they get deep into this gun crisis in America. But the first question, do you know the video I'm looking for, Josh? You have it. If you have the video I'm looking for, I sent to you this morning, should have. let's go ahead and go with that one. Is that something? Do you have it? The one that pertains to this CNN town hall last night where the lady asked the question? You know which one I'm talking about, or I need to help you through and find it on the email? Okay, let me see if I can help you find it. I thought I emailed it to you. Just let me know. Don't have it, Josh says. Josh says, I don't have it. Well, you know, folks, stay with me just a second. I'm the kind of person that sometimes I forget to send Josh something. Let's see. Got the Unhinged Mob. Let's see. CNN last night. Let's see. Let's see. Hold on. I'm going to get to it. I'm so sorry, but this is very important. I had it just a minute ago, Josh, and I thought I had sent that to you. And let me look here. Video. There's McConnell. I did not send that. Then we got the no subject Facebook video. I don't want that one. And then we have the let's see here. Wow. Democrat news media. I guess I did not send that to you this morning, Josh. So let me see if we can find that. Go to card just a second. Folks, I'm sorry about that delay. I was trying to look for the video. Josh, I did not send it. I thought I did. I do not know where that is. I will do everything I can to find that and send it along. You know, I'm not sure where it's at, but we'll get that and send it along. It was the crisis in America, and the lady stands up, and she has a gun owner from New Jersey, and she stumps them by saying, don't women have the right to defend themselves, their body, right? Right to their own body to defend themselves. And they don't know what to do with the question. So I'm going to say, and I'll try to get back to it after the break so that way I can find it. And I don't want to waste time. We got other stuff. But, folks, when does a woman not have the right to kill? Wow, did I just get in trouble? I, for one, believe that abortion is murder. Okay? The left believes that is a woman's right at all times. Governor Ralph Northam of Virginia believes you have a mother has the right to kill a born child. Now, they could spin it all around that the child is ill and the child is sick and this and that, but they believe you can do that once the child is born. So at what point does a woman not have the right to kill? Sorry, you probably do not like the lead there. All right, let me go with this. I'm on the wrong day here. Man, I just all of a sudden I lost my bearings here. So real quick, number 11, 8chan. Let's go with this really quick. Yesterday we talked about this. It was taken down. You can, I don't want to go back over it. You can go through our segment yesterday. We did a full segment. Number 12, let's go to 12. This is George Bush and, and Robert Mueller, a little darker hair there, the FBI, George Tenet, the CIA, Tom Ridge, George Bush, explaining the Patriot Act, George Bush explaining Homeland Security, the new behemoth, 240,000 employees, right? At a $50 billion a year budget. So that's George Bush. And number 13, we came out after 9/11 with Homeland Security. All right. I told you yesterday, I should have it here in just a second, Josh. The president is meeting, okay, with, see if I have it here. It should be soon. Hang tight. There's a meeting today. Let's just leave right now Homeland Security. And if I don't find a picture I want to use, all right, I just want you to be aware of this because this is one of those things I want you to research throughout the morning. Just leave the Homeland Security up there for a minute. Hang tight, hang tight. I know I have it, Josh. Oh, Josh, here's the video I want. Now I know what happened, and we'll do this segment in just a minute. But here is the video I want, and I'm going to get it ready. I can't say enough about people bearing with me. This will take 2 seconds. In fact, what I'd like to do instead of, I want to go to the chicken police story. So what I'd like to do, Josh, is just go ahead, get this email, run it, and we'll close this segment. But last night, Crisis in America, okay, stay with that. I apologize for the delays. Cuomo on CNN did his Crisis in America, gun violence, the gun crisis in America. Now, they could not, as I've said before, they could not take the day off. Nobody could take the day off, but they're somehow blaming Donald Trump for all of yesterday. Now, not just his presidency, but yet yesterday, this guy couldn't even go and visit doctors, nurses, first responders. He couldn't go say thank you. That's all he wanted to do. They had to overshadow it. So last night, this lady, okay, so as soon as you got that and you can put it up, and the Cuomo gun crisis in America, I forget her name, but you got to go, you got to listen. It's 2.5 minutes long, and it's worth the time because Cuomo, this is how they were handling gun crisis in America. Just whenever you get it, Josh, and you can put it up, do it. Just start.
Brady campaign. It's good to have you back. Yeah, nice to meet you. It's good to see you again, Chief. Chief, let me give you a question right from the audience to start. Teresa Einacker Thank you very much for being here. What's your question for the chief?
Thank you. I'm Teresa, and I am a volunteer with the Coalition of New Jersey Firearm Owners. So I am a proud female firearm owner, and I just want to say that I'm a firearm owner, and I care too. So I think there's a little bit of a misunderstanding that we don't care, but we do. And actually, we're against violence, all violence, not just gun violence. So my question is, do you believe a woman has a right to choose whether or not to defend her own body, and in the manner she chooses, and that the government should not interfere with that decision?
Well, that's a little off topic here, but I do believe in a woman's right to choose. Now, when you get into the area about any means she chooses, I don't know what you mean by that. I mean, there are laws. If you're talking about deadly force, for an example, you carry a gun or whatever, there are only certain circumstances under which you can actually resort to deadly force, okay? And so it's important as a gun owner, and that goes for any gun owner, to understand the laws of that particular state so that they don't wind up doing something that could actually cause them some problems down the road. But certainly, if you're assaulted or whatever, you have a right to defend yourself, but when you talk about deadly force, that's a little different.
You know, it's interesting. There's a transitive property involved, right? You're playing on what we see with reproductive rights. And in each case, though, people who are making these impassioned arguments, what's the concern? The concern is the well-being of the person who winds up being the recipient of the act, right? When you're talking about reproductive rights, which obviously isn't what we're talking about tonight, but still important, it's, well, what about the fetus? Or what about the baby? When is it a person, right? You're thinking about, well, who is going to be impacted by the decision that's made. Well, that's the same thing here, is that I have a right to own a gun. I do own a gun, but my right has restrictions on it, Chief,
exactly.
Right? And when we start talking about, well, what is the impact of my right on the rest of society, that's where you get into even what Scalia, and you have to say it that way, may he rest in peace, he was a genius jurist. Before that case, we didn't have an individual right read into the Second Amendment, and the difference is huge. The Second Amendment used to be about what the state could make you do. That's where it came from. You have to have the arm. It has to be able to be used, and you have to know how to use it so that when you come to work in Washington's Army, you know what the hell you're doing, so it doesn't have to spend so much time and so much money training you up and equipping you. Now, it's different. It's about what you as an individual are empowered to do. So as a reality, once you get past all that legal...
Wait a minute. What about the guy that said, the former chief of police of Philadelphia said, now when you get into deadly force, that changes things. Huh. Now it changes things. Do you understand when the left determine what's right and wrong? When the left decide what changes things, right? She has an AR-15. She wants to know. You heard the question. But what I wanted you to see, there are several things I wanted you to see in that clip. I wanted you to hear the question. Wanted you to hear the fact that they could not answer her question. Did you hear them answer? When does she have a right to defend herself? I mean, she's a gun owner. She has concerns also. But when does she have a right to defend herself? Did you see I like to put the bylines up, the gun crisis in America, right? Did you see the scroll that they never stopped during this charade that they put on last night? Did you see the scroll, right? How many died in this one? How many died in this one? And how many died in this one? Huh, interesting. Folks, I'm going to take a brief break. I wanted to get that in. When we come back, we'll get a little focused here. I want to talk about the chicken plant police down in Mississippi where 600 jobs are available. Talk about that. Kavanaugh, Brett Kavanaugh, Supreme Court Justice Brett Kavanaugh. Let's talk about Don McGahn. We got 3 or 4 more things, so I want to get this break, and we'll be right back somewhere around the bottom of the hour.